Hello, everyone. I'm Bill, and welcome to Bill's Odds and Ends. If this is your first time here, be sure and subscribe and click on that bell icon to be notified of all of my new videos. Also, give this video a thumbs up as it really helps the channel out. And now, on with the video.
Hello and welcome to Baking with Bill. No, wait a minute, that's not right. Well, I can edit that out later. Welcome to Bill's Odds and Ends. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, doing something a little bit different out of the norm because due to some health issues I had in the past year, the doctors have put me on a low sodium diet. Going out to eat can be pretty problematic for that. But here at home, it's proven amazingly simple because my lovely wife, Lori, gave me a low sodium cookbook. And although I don't do a lot of the cooking, we do kind of pick out some recipes together. But there is one that I make every once in a while, and that's making my own bread. It's a no salt added white bread. And we're going to make that for you today. Well, actually, the bread maker's probably going to do most of the work, but I'll at least put the ingredients together. So let me switch to an overhead view and let's get started. All right, now that we're all set up and we have all of our ingredients, this is the bread making pan. There is a little rod in there that does all the mixing and stirring. So to start out, we use 2.5 cups plus 2 tablespoons full of water. Just like that. Then we add 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And on top of that, we add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then 2 tablespoons of powdered condensed milk. And on top of all that, we add 3 cups of baking flour. Now, I use baking flour, although if all you have is all-purpose, that should work too. So I can get this in there without making a mess. And semi-successful. But what's cooking if you don't make a mess? And you kind of smooth this out and make a little divot there in the center. And in that divot, because you don't want it to touch any of the wet ingredients, you add 1.5 teaspoons of baker's yeast. So we'll just put that right in there. And now we're all ready to put it in the machine, get it set up, and get started. Just a little bit of a turn. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, I think I got it. And then we set our program. You have program 1, which is for basic white bread. That's what we're going to use. Weight is 2 pounds. Color setting, always leave on medium. Close the lid. Well, we'll close the lid to get started, but I will open it back up, or we can look in the window and show you what's going on. And press start. And you can see, well, that's terribly glary, so let's do it this way. The little lever's moving around inside and stirring it all up. So we'll come back in a little while after the dough forms and check and see how it's doing. Well, as you can see, we've got a pretty good ball of dough forming. So we'll check in later. This goes through several cycles of kneading and then resting and then kneading some more and then resting to see if it gets a good rise. It should rise almost up to the top of the pan if everything works out right. So we'll check again a little later. All right. Check again on our progress here. It looks like we're on our final rest and rise. And you can see that it has gotten quite large. So hopefully that bodes well. The next step is going to be baking. Well, the final rise has finished and baking has commenced. That looks really good. This may be the best loaf I've made yet. All right, it's all done now. We have to be very careful because this is very hot. But you just need to take a spatula and kind of go down the sides a little bit to help loosen it up. Well, let's see if that's enough. Now we need to loosen it up some more. All right, let's see if it'll dump out. There we go. Now then, there's one thing, well, actually two things that are left for me to do. If you remember that lever in the bottom of the pan that does the stirring, well, that, so I tip this up here. You can see that little hole right there. That lever stays in there. So what you have to do is we got a little special tool here. And we stick that in there and hook it. And just pull it out, trying not to disturb the loaf too much. And the other thing I like to do, some people use butter. I've found that water works just as well, is just go over and brush the crust with a coating of water. And it will absorb that moisture and make the crust a little softer. All right, turn this around here at the front. And that looks pretty good. So now all we need to do is just wait for it to cool a bit because it's still very warm. You don't want to cut it when it's warm because the inside has a tendency to tear when you do that. So we'll let it cool and slice it up. I don't know whether I'll film that or not. I'll get probably 12 or 13 slices out of it. I use it to make sandwiches, and Lori has tried some. She says it makes an excellent grilled cheese sandwich. So anyway, that's Baking with Bill. So I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned something a little bit. We'll see you next time.
This has been an odd production. Thanks for watching.